Manic Bestia.
Previously, Manic Bestia discussed the 1989 Batman, mostly just the music though, during which they received a fishy phone call from a dodgy individual. Little did they know, it was the hoaxer all along, who then sent a swarm of bats in our very direction for some reason. Will Manic uncover the horrid hoaxer's dubious plot? Find out, right now!
So Batman was a massive success, and then with Batman Returns, they doubled down on the Gothic influence. Black leather, neo-Gothic architecture, Art Deco, low-key noir lighting. Neither of these films are perfect, but I think this is my personal favourite. Tim Burton took a break between the Batman films to create Edward Watermelon Hands, and when they brought him back for a sequel, Tim only agreed to it when they said he could make it more in his style, rather than conforming to the comic book mythos, which I think was a really good decision.
And Tim was very averse, at the end of the day, to the idea of coming in and doing a sequel. And finally, the way that they kind of got to him was to say, well, what if the second movie is really just a Tim Burton movie?
Again, the film instantly begins with the music. Cathedral choirs and epic pipe organs are reused to create this extremely dramatic and haunting montage of the Penguin's origins, starting off sonically where the previous film left off. Okay, so we've got dark fantasy music combined with the snowy winter wonderland of Christmas. Can you tell this is a Tim Burton film? His interpretation of the Penguin couldn't be any more perfect though. The production design particularly helps in bringing forth a sense of beauty from the melancholy and macabre, which I think is the most important aspect of Tim Burton's work. Wow, what an incredibly atmospheric and heart-wrenching opening. I wonder what the next scene is going to be. Wait, did that say Shrek? Oh no. Oh God, no!
Frankly, I cringe, Mr. Mayor.
So the first movie has a couple of mimes and funny goofs and gaffes here and there, but here we get... Wait, who the hell sent Shrek a giant GameCube? The clowns are back in town! Quick! Call the X-Men! Beep 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 beep.
The cheese phone! Truly an emergency. Moshi Moshi.
Brace yourself for a shock. It's the Penguin.
No, this is Patrick.
Hey, look at go for the phone. Funny.
Can all of you stop? How did you intercept this number? Right after this explosive opening, we're greeted by a brilliant exchange between the Penguin and Shrek. Yes, that's his name. Played by Christopher Walken. Here, the true nature of their operations are unravelled before us. I have to say, the dynamic of the corrupt businessman against this vengeful mob boss is instantly so much more compelling than the Joker just killing this old dude in the first film. What was his name again? I don't even remember. It wasn't as good as Shrek, that's all I know. Oh, hello there! While the Joker is a more iconic villain, the character of Oswald in this film takes the absurdism of the comics and creates a truly grotesque and beautifully tragic story out of it, which I enjoy a lot more than Jackie Boy in the first movie. I think that's one synergy this film weirdly nails really well. It teeters the edge of complete insanity, but every person involved played it so straight that the suspension of disbelief is still upheld. I love films which present a wide range of emotions, but what really turns something from good to damn good is when they juggle these hyper-real feelings and keep you immersed into the universe at the same time.
Damn, that shit good!
Utilising his disfigured body for empathy, the Penguin is a sick fuck inspired by serial killers who grew up in abusive and toxic environments. Yes, you want Batman to win, but you also don't want Oswald to die either. Because somewhere beneath all those layers of fat, lard and flesh is someone who could have been a hero. The movie even explores this, with the goofy plotline of him becoming the mayor of Gotham. People love him, and it shows a glimpse into a world which could have been if he didn't try to use his trauma as a catalyst for evil, instead of a cause for good. Danny DeVito fucking killed this role. I'm not really familiar with his work outside of him being the trash man and this t-shirt I found in a charity shop, so colour me surprised when he actually pulls off an extremely visceral and horrifying performance. He clearly had a lot of fun playing the Penguin too. I feel like you get more powerful performances out of people using practical effects like this. Because not only are you immersing the audience, but the cast and crew too. This film also depicts the origins of Catwoman, played by Michelle Pfeiffer, with the most ludicrous transformation sequence yet. When the film suddenly started showing loads of cats running through an alleyway, I was thinking to myself, no way, they're not gonna go there, are they? But yeah, she gets bitten by a radioactive cat and now she's infused with Nyan energy. Okay, they went too far here. I feel like they could have come up with a way better explanation for her existence. And her backstory just felt unnecessary in the end too, because she already had such a good anti-hero dynamic with Batman. They could have just cut the scene entirely and it would be fine.
I am Catwoman. Hear me roar.
Or maybe they should have cut her entire character. Selina Kyle tries to seduce Batman and Bruce Wayne with both of her personas, because apparently his first girlfriend spontaneously combusted and is never heard from again. Speaking of, Bruce Wayne's woeful wooing of women hasn't improved a speck since we last saw him, still as awkward and incompatible as always. Or maybe he's meant to be a self-insert character for all the loser comic book nerds who are watching this. That's just my game theory. Unfortunately for us, Catwoman's antics don't end there. Her whole character is this overtly sexualized and uncomfortable villain throughout the film, but not in a good way. Her demeanor is meant to be that of a sadistic prostitute, but I just don't think it was written or portrayed in a compelling way. Her dialogue is worse than anything from the first movie, easily. If you're one of the 5% of my heterosexual viewers, let me know if I'm just too gay to understand this character's appeal. Because right now, I think Catwoman is easily the worst part of this film.
I cringe, Mr. Cringe.
Luckily, she disappears for a bit, as the rest of the movie explores how the Penguin deals with grief. Beginning with this fantastical scene of him visiting his parents' gravestone beneath the winter moonlight. The score here almost comes off as melodramatic, but it makes sense because the Penguin has begun to spiral even further into his own ego at this point. The whole segment where Penguin tries framing Batman by hijacking his car and driving it into crowds is so much fun. It feels like something straight out of a comic book, especially with all the quirky little gizmos and gadgets they use. Of course, the best way to defeat Batman is to use his own weapons against him. Luckily, Master Wayne has a copy of deadmau5's 4x4 = 12 on CD, which is able to intercept Oswald's radio waves through the power of epic EDM bangers. The budget for this film clearly went up since last time. The production design goes from 100 to 150 with way more colourful and fantastical sets and vehicles, with less reliance on darkness and compositing to make things feel larger in scope. The Batcave is way more immersive and advanced too, and all the crazy circus vehicles the Penguin somehow finds are pure mechanical madness in all the best ways.
One frozen wasteland later.
Hold up, does this dance scene have Susie and the Banshees playing? Absolute cinema, bring it back to a 10, it's a 10, it's a 10. Oh shit. Oh, for fuck's sake. I just installed that, you know. Oh my god, I need to call someone quick. Hello? Is this the Ninja Turtles?
No, this is Patrick.
Shit! Wait, are you from New York?
Maybe.
Fine, whoever you are, I need your help. I've got a bat infestation, which is ruining my audio, and it's all the hoaxer's doing!
Yeah, no problem, buddy. Hey, tell you what, I'll send Mario over there to fix your fucking pipes. How about that?
But I didn't mention any pipes. The climactic ending of Batman Returns is super exciting, with loads of big explosions and elaborate setups building into the ultimate collapse of Oswald's Penguino empire. The Penguin Army was done with a combination of real animals, puppetry, and even CGI. Like, can you even tell? This is 1989. Seriously impressive stuff. I wish more movies these days would take notes. After Oswald sadly meets his demise, he gets lifted by a bunch of dwarves in penguin costumes and taken into the water like a ritualistic Viking death. It's so hilariously melodramatic, I couldn't help but burst out laughing. It really reminds me of how David Lynch uses morbid imagery to create these comedically absurd and strangely sincere moments between frightening characters. And it also reflects classical Gothic literature like Phantom of the Opera or Frankenstein, where people are made into monsters by the way they're treated, and ultimately, they seal their own fate. The film was described as a psychological thriller by Michael Gough, who played Alfred, which I think sums it up nicely. It isn't a horror film, but it is nightmarish. It has a twisted attitude and a ghoulish aura about it that I find morbidly fascinating, and shows us how we can find a strange beauty in the traditionally grotesque. So, in conclusion, both of these movies are flawed but excellent. If you're looking for something extra gothic to watch this Christmas, then make sure to look out for these on your Bat radar. Or, you know, Halloween, I guess. And after that, there were never any more Batman movies. Ever again.